Very good morning, children. Today we are going to learn about the geography unit 2 land and oceans. Land and oceans. In this lesson, we are going to understand about the continents and oceans, to learn about the characteristic features of different landforms and oceans, to know about the classification of landforms, and to understand the oceans and its features. Okay, so in this lesson focuses on the land and oceans found on earth. It deals with the classification of landforms, first, second and third order landforms. Okay, shall we start that lesson? The teacher enters the classroom with giant-sized envelopes. The students are enthusiastic to know about the content of the envelopes. The teacher asks the children to sit in group and explains the activity. Each group is given an envelope which contains 7 zigzags and a chart paper. The teacher asks them to paste the zigzags, that means continents, close to each other, leaving no gap between them. The teacher asks them to color the remaining places in blue. Understood? A group pastes the continents and comes first with the chart without any gaps in between the continents. The teacher then puts the chart on the board and the children applaud. What kind of picture is this? Once I have seen one like this in the atlas, says Yarini. You're right, this is Pangaea, the supercontinent, and the sea around is Pantalsa. It was around 200 million years ago. When these land masses moved away from each other to gain the present position as continents and oceans, says the teacher. What makes it to move, madam? Asked Neela. Nothing other than the internal heat of the earth, says the teacher, and continues this lesson, deals about the continents and oceans in detail. The earth is covered by water, which occupies 71% of land and occupies 29% of the earth's surface. The surface of the earth is not even because it has a lofty mountains, deep oceans, and other landforms. These landforms can be classified as first order continent, oceans; second order mountains, plateaus; third order valleys and beaches. This is the classification of landform. First order classification. So, first order landform. Continents and oceans are grouped as first order landforms. The vast landmasses on earth are called continents and huge water bodies are called oceans. So underline what is continent, what is oceans. The vast land masses on the earth are called continents and huge water bodies are called oceans. There are 7 continents. They are Asia, Africa, North America, South America, Antarctica, Europe, and Australia. Asia is the largest continent, whereas Australia is the smallest one. So the land scientification classification in Sangam period, how they are classified, it is means Kurinji, Mullai, Marudam, Nedal, Palai. So this is the classification of land in Sangam period. So what is the explanation of Kurinji? Kurinji is the mountain and its environs. Mullai, forest and its surroundings. Marudam, agricultural land and the adjoining areas. Neidal, sea and its environs. Palai is a desert region. So this is the classification category. Already we know in that you studied in the lower classes, means fifth, fourth and all, you read this like. So this is the classification of land masses in Sangam period. We are telling that is Kurinji, Neidal, Kurinji, Mullai, Marudam, Neidal and Palai. Understood, ma? Apart from continents, there are 5 oceans located on the Earth's surface. They are the Pacific, Atlantic, Indian, Southern and Arctic Ocean. Among these oceans, the Pacific Ocean is the largest and the Arctic Ocean is the smallest. So in that continent, Asia is the largest continent and Australia is the smallest continent. So like that oceans also, it is the largest ocean. Which is the largest ocean? Pacific Ocean is the largest ocean and the Arctic Ocean is the smallest ocean. So given one activity for you, do that. Okay. So what is that activity given? A circular plate, 7 slices of carrot, a glass of water. So write the abbreviation as AF, NA, SA, AN, EU and AU. So on each slice is a depending order of its size. Now, the second order landform. The second order landforms are categorized as mountains, plateaus and plains. So second one is the order mountains, plateaus and plains. In the second landform, first we are going to see the mountains. A landform that rises 600 meters above its surroundings and has steep slopes is called as mountains. So underline what is called the mountains. A landform that rises 600 meters above its surroundings and has steep slopes is called the mountains. Mountains are found in isolation or in groups. So the mountains mostly it is standard as a separate or in a group. If the mountains extended for a large area continuously, it is called a mountain range. These ranges stretch for hundreds or thousands of kilometers. The Himalayas of Asia, the Rocky Mountains of North America, the Andes of South America are such examples. So for us, for that India, the Himalayas of Asia, it is a mountain range. The Rocky Mountain of North America, it is a mountain range. Andes of South America is a mountain range. So it is the continuous mountains. The Andes Mountain in South America is the longest mountain range in the world. So underline which mountain range is the longest mountain range? Andes. The highest point of a mountain is known as its peak. So which one is the highest point? So at the tip of that mountain. Which one is the highest point? That is called peak. Mount Everest is the highest peak in the world. So underline Mount Everest is the highest peak in the world. Which country is Mount Everest located in? Mountains are the sources of rivers. They provide shelter to flora and fauna. Here, tourism is an important activity. During summer, people go to mountain region to enjoy the pleasing cool weather. So, for example, Uttakamandalam is a mountain range, mountain. Kodaikanal, Kolli Hills, Erkard and Elagiri are some of the hill stations found in Tamil Nadu. So, we understood the mountains, ma? Okay, now see the plateau. Plateau are the elevated portion of the earth that have flat surfaces bounded by steep slopes. The elevation of plateaus may be a few hundred or several thousand meters. Tibetan Plateau is the highest plateau in the world. Underline, Tibetan Plateau is the highest plateau in the world. So it is called as roof of the world. So which one is called as a roof of the world? Tibetan Plateau. The flat topped part of the plateau is the tableland. The flat topped part is called a tableland. The plateau are generally rich in minerals. So which is available there? Minerals are available in the plateau. The Chota Nagpur Plateau is one of the mineral rich plateau in India. Chota Nagpur. Therefore, mining is one of the major activity of the people living here. So, those peoples are living in the plateau regions, plateau places. What is the main occupation of that plateau peoples? The main occupation is mining the minerals. They get a gold, diamonds. So, like that, some minerals are they are getting from the plateau region. The Deccan Plateau is peninsular India, is a volcanic origin. So Deccan Plateau, peninsular India. So it is an what kind of plateau? It's a volcanic origin. So now see the plains. Plains are flat and relatively low-lying lands. Plains are usually less than 200 meter above sea level. Sometimes they may be rolling or undulating. Most plains are formed by rivers and their tributaries and distributaries. These plains are used extensively for agriculture due to the availability of water and fertile soil. So see the down. The plains have been the cradle of civilization from the earliest times. Already I said no, Indus civilization, Harappan civilization and all. Yes, that is that the plains of how that where that civilizations and all formed. It is formed in the river banks. Yes, India's in India, the Nile Valley in Egypt are the some of the early civilization which developed and flourished. And some plateaus in Tamil Nadu, Dharmapuri is a plateau, Coimbatore is a plateau, Madurai is a plateau. Okay. Now see the next one. They are most suitable for human inhabitation. So, which is most suitable for a man, human plains. Hence, they are highly populated regions of the world. The oldest civilization like the Mesopotamian and the Indus civilization developed in river plains. The Indo-Gangetic plain in North India is one of the largest plains in the world. So which one is the largest plain in the world? Indo-Gangetic plain in North India. Underline. The plains formed by river Kaveri and Vaigai are important plains found in Tamil Nadu. Coastal plains are the low-lying lands adjacent to oceans and seas. Next, see the third order landform. Third order landforms are formed on mountains, plateaus, and plains mainly by erosional and depositional activities of rivers, glaciers, winds, and waves. Valleys, beaches, and sand dunes are some examples of third order landform. See the picture. First one is the valley, second one is the sand dune, third one is the beach. What is mean by erosion? Erosion is the process of removal of surface material from the earth's crust. The eroded materials are transported and deposited on the low-lying area. This process is called as deposition. Next up, ocean. The earth looks blue when we see it from space. This is because two-thirds of it is covered by water. The water is found in ocean and seas. Oceans are vast expanse of water. Seas are water bodies partially or fully enclosed by land. As you have studied previously, there are five main oceans in the world. So see the area of oceans. Each one have that measured in percentage. Okay. See that marked diagram. 47 percentage of Pacific Ocean, 23 percentage of Atlantic Ocean, 20 percentage Indian Ocean, 6 percentage Southern Ocean, 4 percentage Arctic Ocean. See the first one, Pacific Ocean. The Pacific Ocean is the largest and deepest ocean on the earth. It covers about 1/3 of the earth's total area and spreads for about 168.72 million square kilometer. It is bounded by Asia and Australia in its west and North America and South America in its east. It stretches from the Arctic Ocean in the north to the Southern Ocean in the south. These oceans shape is roughly triangular with its apex in the north at the Bering Strait, which connects the Pacific Ocean with the Arctic Ocean. The Bering Sea, the China Sea, the Sea of Japan, Tasman Sea, and the Philippine Sea are some of the marginal seas of the Pacific Ocean. Indonesia, Philippines, Japan, Hawaii, New Zealand are some of the islands located in this ocean. The deepest point, Mariana Trench, is 10,994 meter and is located in the Pacific Ocean. A chain of volcanoes is located around the Pacific Ocean called the Pacific Ring of Fire. So which one is called a Pacific Ring of Fire? A chain of volcanoes is located around the Pacific Ocean called the Pacific Ring of Fire. See that picture in that world map. See the continents. There are 7 continents and that seas, oceans. Okay, so each one it is explained. So where that shown started showing that ships. Sir, oceans is a trade. Through that oceans they are doing the trades also. Next one, Atlantic Ocean. The Atlantic Ocean is the second largest ocean on earth. It covers 1/6 of the Earth's total area and spreads for about 85.13 million square kilometer. It is bounded by North America and South America in the west and Europe and Africa in the east. Like the Pacific, it stretches from the Arctic Ocean in the north to the Southern Ocean in the south. The shape of the Atlantic Ocean resembles the letter S. Yes, see that map, it shows the letter S. The Strait of Gibraltar connects the Atlantic Ocean with the Mediterranean Sea. The Atlantic Ocean is the busiest shipping route between the eastern and the western hemisphere. It is the busiest ocean, trade ocean, shipping route between the eastern and western. The deepest point is the Milwaukee Deep. Milwaukee Deep in the Puerto Rico Trench. Puerto Rico Trench. It has a depth of about 8,600 meters. The Caribbean Sea, the Gulf of Mexico, the North Sea, the Gulf of Guinea, and the Mediterranean Sea are important marginal seas of the Atlantic Ocean. Stretch Helena. ST is pronouncing as stretch. Okay. Stretch Helena, Newfoundland, Iceland, and Falkland are some of the islands found in this ocean. Now see the third one is the Indian Ocean. The Indian Ocean is the third largest ocean on the Earth's surface. It covers an area about 70.56 million square kilometer. It is named after India. It is triangular in shape. It is triangular in shape and bounded by Africa in the west, Asia in the north, and Australia in the east. The Andaman and Nicobar Island, Lakshadweep, Maldives, Sri Lanka, Mauritius, and the Reunion Islands are some of the islands located in the Indian Ocean. Malacca Strait connects the Indian Ocean and the Pacific Ocean. So, which one is connecting? Malacca Strait connects the Indian Ocean and the Pacific Ocean. The Bay of Bengal, the Arabian Sea, the Persian Gulf, and the Red Sea are some of the important marginal seas of the Indian Ocean. The Java Trench is the deepest point in the Indian Ocean. Fourth one, the Southern Ocean. The Southern Ocean surrounds the continent of Antarctica and is enclosed by the 60 degrees south latitude. So, S is pronouncing as a south. It covers an area of 21.96 million square kilometer. It is bordered by the southern parts of the Pacific, the Atlantic and the Indian Ocean. The Ross Sea, the Weddell Sea, and the Davis Sea are the marginal seas of the ocean. Farewell Island, Bowman Island, and Hurst Island are some of the islands located in this ocean. The water in this ocean is very cold. Much of it is covered by sea ice. The deepest point in this ocean is South Sandwich Trench with a depth of 7,235 meter. So last one is the Arctic Ocean. The Arctic Ocean is the smallest ocean. It covers an area of 15.56 million square kilometer. It lies within the Arctic Circle. It remains frozen for most of the year. The Norwegian Sea, the Greenland Sea, the East Siberian Sea, and the Barents Sea are some of the marginal seas of this ocean. Greenland, New Siberian Island, and Novaya Zemlya Island are some of the islands located in the Arctic Ocean. The North Pole is situated in the middle of the Arctic Ocean. The Eurasian Basin is the deepest point in the Arctic Ocean, which is about 5,449 meter in depth. So in each of that oceans they given the marginal seas. Okay, so see all that one. So for your scrapbook, you draw all the marginal seas. So 5 marginal seas also given in your book. So draw that, draw it and color it, or you use that color paper to make that parts. Okay, so only it is needed blue and orange color. So you paste that continents. Paste the continents, you use the orange color paper, and for that representing that sea, you use the dark blue and light blue color. Understood, ma? So you draw it and do that scrapbook and send it to me soon. So already I given for you that first midterm. Someone's only sent to me that scrapbook work. So remaining no one sent to me. So immediately you do it. So you understood this lesson. So now see what are the points we learn in this lesson. The surface of the earth is covered by 71% of water and 29% of land. So these are only the recapturing point what you understood in this lesson. Okay, the landforms are classified the first order, second order and third order landforms. Continents and oceans are the first order landforms. There are 7 continents and 5 oceans on the earth's surface. Mountains, plateaux and plains are the second land order landforms. Valleys, beaches and sand dunes are the third order landforms. Many islands and marginal seas are found in the oceans. Understood? So in that glossary, they given the meaning of that each one. What is island, what is bay, what is strait, what is trench and what is peninsula. So what is island? Island is meant by a land surrounded by water on all sides. What is bay? A broad inlet of the sea where the land curves inwards. Strait, a narrow stretch of water linking two large water bodies. Trench means the deepest part of the ocean. Peninsula, the land surrounded by water on three sides. So that only India is called as peninsular India. Understood now? Okay. Okay, now see the civics. Now see the civics. Already I finished completed that first one. So now we are going to see the second lesson of that civics. So today we want to complete the portion for the quarterly. So already you got that classworks PDF, question answer PDF through the school app. So I trusting you to finish that classworks and send it very soon. So you have 2 days time. So tomorrow I going to give only the revisions in our class hour. Okay. So you finish that classwork as soon as. Okay. So you don't be delayed to finish the classwork. So hereafter we are going to give only, I am giving only the revisions. Okay, so those are finishing immediately you send to me for the corrections. Don't be delay anyone. So total how many students, how many of you coming for that live class? You must finish, everyone you must submit. Okay, you don't tell I didn't get a PDF, I didn't get that nota, I didn't get that book. So you don't tell any reasons to me. No excuse hereafter. Already I gave many excuses. So this time onwards I won't give any excuses. Everyone you must write the classwork and submit as soon as. So now see the second lesson of the civics, achieving equality. See, in this lesson, we are going to learn about the meaning of prejudice and stereotypes. Stereotype. And understand discrimination and inequality. Become aware of the negative consequences of discrimination. The society that we live in comprises people from various social groups who are different in many ways. Since we believe the unity in diversity, we should have been living peacefully with one another irrespective of those differences. Already we learned in that before lesson about the equality. So unity in diversity. So whatever that many languages we are speaking, many culturals are we are celebrating, many languages, our culture, customs are different, but we are in unity in diversity. Okay, so that the same only we are following to the everywhere and everyone. So often we see that diversity is not accepted and people show attitudes of hostility towards those who are different from them. They form opinions about the other groups and this often leads to tension in the society. Such opinions are often prejudiced. Prejudice means to judge other people in a negative or inferior manner without knowing much about them. So sometimes we are talking about others, no? So everyone we are doing that one. That is prejudice. So we don't know about the person's character or background. Without knowing that we are speaking about that person. So that is called a prejudice. It happens when people have false belief and ideas. So prejudice means pre plus judge. So the word prejudice, the word prejudice refers to prejudgment. Without knowing anything, we are judging the person before that. Prejudices can be based on many things like people's religious beliefs, the region they come from, the color of their skin, language, their accent, the accent or the clothes they wear. So these and all we are discussing. Okay, about the third person. The type of prejudice are gender prejudice, racial prejudice, class prejudice, disability prejudice, and so on. For example, so what they are giving, urban people are more civilized than rural people in attitudes and behavior. In one such prejudice. So, what are the main reasons, causes for prejudice? Causes means reasons. Some common social factors that contributes to rise of prejudice are socialization, conforming behaviors, economic benefits, authoritarian personality, ethnocentrism, group closure, conflicts. Okay, so these are the factors. These are the reasons, these are the causes to prejudice. Okay, second one is stereotypes. Stereotypes means what? When prejudice gets stronger, it develops into stereotype. That means, so once they doesn't know about the person, but they are talking about the third person. So once it is a confirmed, so it is that they got that information about the third person, it is very stronger. That is true. They are talking to that person in groups. So that is stereotype. அதாவது நம்ம இப்போ தமிழில் சொல்ல போகிறதுனால அதுக்கு ஒன்றுமே இல்லாத ஒரு விஷயம், அவங்கள பற்றி எதுவுமே தெரியாமைக்கு, அவங்களோட பேக்ரவுண்ட் என்னதுன்னு தெரியாமைக்கு ஒருத்தங்களை பற்றி பேசும்போது அவங்களோட ஸ்கின்னை பற்றியோ, அவங்களோட ஜாதியை பற்றியோ, அவங்களுக்கு போட்டுக்கக்கூடிய ட்ரெஸ்ஸை பற்றியோ நம்ம பேசும்போது, இப்போ 2 பேர் பேசுகிறாங்க மூணாவது மனுஷனை பற்றி. ஸோ அந்த 2 பேர் பேசினது அவங்களுக்கு அவரை பற்றி தெரியாமைக்கு அவங்க பேசுகிறாங்க. ஆனால் அதில் அவங்க ஸ்ட்ராங்காக இருந்தாங்க அப்படின்னா அதை என்ன பண்ணுறாங்க, ஒரு குரூப்பாக ஃபார்ம் பண்ணி அது ஒருத்தர்கிட்டேருந்து இன்னொருத்தருக்கு அதை அப்படியே ஸ்டீரியோ மாதிரி பேப்பரில் பப்ளிஷ் பண்ணுற மாதிரி என்ன பண்ணுறாங்க, ஆர் எலாபரேட்டிங் தட் மெசேஜ். ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள், girls are not good at sports. Stereotype is learned at a very early age, and children grow to have very strong ideas or opinions about things, groups or ideologies. As children grow up, the lines of like and hate for other things, people, cultures, beliefs, languages become sharper. So what is happening? Once most in olden days, girls are not allowed to the sports. Okay, so what happening that time? The girls are dumping in that kitchen works. They are not coming out from that kitchen. Okay, so they are believing what they are believing. They are hating the culture, the peoples. அது எல்லாருமே அந்த பப்ளிக்கை என்ன பண்ணுறாங்க, வெறுக்கிறதுக்கு ஆரம்பிக்கிறாங்க. See, for example, Raghu was hit in his eye with a soft ball, and to everyone's surprise, he started to cry. The others started to laugh at him. So அவன் என்ன பண்ணினான், கையில் பட்டதுனால, சாஃப்டான பால் கண்ணில் பட்டதுனால அவன் ஆட ஆரம்பிச்சிட்டான். ஓகேயா, எல்லாருமே என்ன அப்படியே அதிசயமாக பார்க்குறாங்க. He started to cry. But in the same, other peoples in their place, what they are doing, they are laugh. Mani felt sad for him but started laughing along with others. அவனுக்கு தெரிஞ்சிச்சு, அவனுக்கு கண்ணில் பட்டுது, அவனுக்கு வலிக்குது, அதனால அவன் அழனாங்க கூட தெரிஞ்சிச்சு. ஆனாலும் அவன் என்ன பண்ணினான், அடுத்தவங்க கூட சேர்ந்துக்கிட்ட அழ ஆரம்பிச்சு. ஸோ லைக் ஷீ இஸ் லாஃபிங். He also started to laugh. In the above example, we have a general opinion that girls cry and boys don't cry. ஸோ வாட் இஸ் த பீப்புள்ஸ் ஒப்பீனியன்? நீ என்ன, ஸோ ஒரு ஜென்ஸ் ஒரு பாய் அழுதா கூட நாம் என்ன பேசுவோம், என்னடா நீ பொம்பளை மாதிரி அழுதுகிட்டு இருக்க. தட் இஸ் தட் ஆஸ்கிங் தட் ஒன். ஸோ ஒன்ஸ் அ பாய் இஸ் க்ரையிங் மீன்ஸ் இட் இஸ் லுக் like a girl. He is liking a girl. Girls only wants to cry, not that boys. They have no any feelings, no any pain. Said. So what is that one? That general opinion, it is girls cry and boys don't cry. When Regu cried out of pain, others laughed at him. Now we understand that when we fix people in our image, we create a stereotype. Understood? Gender-based stereotypes are often portrayed in films, advertisements and TV serials also. Is it? So, எல்லா ஃபீல்டுலையுமே what they are doing? They are using the stereotype, gender-based stereotype. All the serials you look, only the women characters only crying, not the gents character. Is it? In that ad also, advertisements, only they are giving the more அது மதிப்பு கொடுக்கக்கூடியது, giving that prestige, only they giving to the gents, not to that ladies. Okay, so for most of the detergents, so almost that advertisement related to detergents, washing machines, dishwashers and others show a woman as the main lead or user of the product. So for these advertisements, they are using only the woman, not a gent. On the other hand, all the stunts shown in a bike advertisement is performed by ferocious looking men. Okay, he is the hero. Okay, so that is the stereotypes. Now see the third one, inequality and discrimination. Inequality and discrimination. Inequality means difference in treatment. The different forms of inequality such as caste inequality, religious inequality, race inequality or gender inequality give rise to discrimination. Discrimination can be defined as negative actions towards people. Inequality and untouchability. Inequality and untouchability are caused by discriminations based on caste, religion and gender. Treating dark-skinned people differently from fair-skinned people and denying equal status, rights and opportunities on the basis of color, caste, gender, religion, etc. are the formidable discriminatory trends affecting India. Article 15(1) of the Constitution states that the state shall not discriminate against any citizen on grounds of religion, race, caste, sex, place of birth. Underline. So articles means what? Law. That's constitutional law. In that law code number 15(1). So what it is stating that? So shall not in each state. Constitution states what it is telling. Shall not discriminate against any citizen. எந்த ஒரு மனிதனையும் என்ன பண்ணக்கூடாது? On ground of religion. Don't discriminate. Don't avoid. അവനെ തരം താഴ്ത്തക്കൂടാതെ. Okay, so grounds of religion, race, caste, sex, place of birth. Now see the next one. In this first one, inequality and discrimination, first one comes as caste discrimination. Caste system is the most dominant reason for inequality and discrimination in India. The caste system originated in the Varna system of the Vedic Aryan society. In the beginning, Varna was an occupation-based flexible social division. In the later Vedic society, the Varna system was expanded into a rigid, discriminatory, birth-based graded caste divisions. Many people in India have fought against caste opposition. The most prominent among them was Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. He belonged to a such depressed family and suffered discrimination throughout his childhood. He fought actively for the annihilation of caste so as to ensure equality among all the citizens of India. So that was a person. See, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. He is popularly known as Baba Sahib. He was an Indian jurist, economist, politician, and a social reformer. He early framed our constitutional laws. He earned his MA in 1915 and then obtained a DSc at the London School of Economics before being awarded PhD by Columbia University in 1927. He served as a chairman of drafting committee of the Constituent Assembly and hence regarded as the father of Indian Constitution. He was independent India's first law minister. He was posthumously awarded the Bharat Ratna in 1990. So he is the first law minister of India, independent India. After the independence, he is the first law minister, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Now see the second one, gender discrimination. Gender discrimination refers to health, education, economic and political inequalities between men and women. For example, a girl is not allowed to go to college after finishing schooling. Similarly, most of the girls are not allowed to select a career of their choice, rather they are forced into marriage. In some families, girls are not allowed to wear modern dresses, while boys in such families often wear modern dresses. That is gender discrimination. Next one is the religious discrimination. Religious discrimination is unequal treatment of an individual or group based off their beliefs. Religion discrimination has been around for a long time. There have been problems between people of different religion for thousands of years. Our constitution has provided equality for all irrespective of their caste, religion, language, place of birth, etc. Yet discrimination are still in practice even in worship places on the basis of caste, religion, gender and language. Our great social thinkers have been crusading against such discrimination and inequality. Now see the next one, socio-economic inequality. In the socio-economic field, the benefits of growth have not been spread evenly. The low income districts are associated with low industrial development, low agricultural productivity, and low human development. Similarly, the districts with low literacy rate are found to be with lower sex ratio. Next one, remedial measures for abolishing inequality and discrimination. The remedial measures for abolishing inequality and discrimination in Indian society are as follows: wider access to quality basic services like healthcare and education for all. Be aware of current gender bias. Make women more visible in public life and institutions to eradicate gender disparity. Be open to learning about other religions. Promoting community dining in the classroom may help the students to sit together without any bias of caste, religion, or gender. Socialize with the people of all types outside home. Effective implementation of laws. See below that upper the tabular column given for the literacy rate of 2011 census. That educational in Kanyakumari district 92.14, Chennai 90.33, Thoothukudi 86.52% and the Nilagiri 85.65%. It is that high rate of literacy. Then see that a low rate of literacy. Dharmapuri 64.71, Ariyalur 71.99, Bilappuram 72.08, Krishnagiri and 72.41. And the number of females as per the 1000 males, see the sex ratio also. So that is in Nilagiri 1041, Tanjavur 1031, Nagapatnam 1025, Thoothukudi and Tirunelveli 1024 females are there is as per 1000 males. And a very low ratio, Dharmapuri 946, Salem 954, Krishnagiri 956, Ramanathapuram 977. Next one, Constitution of India and inequality. A constitution is a set of rules and regulations guiding the administration of a country. So underline that. What is constitution? A constitution is a set of rules and regulations guiding the administration of a country. Article 14 of the Constitution of India provides equality before the law or equal protection within the territory of India and prohibits the unreasonable discrimination between persons. Our constitution says, ours is a land of diversity. Therefore, equality has to be ensured for all. Two significant parameters to ensure equality in society are respecting diversity and ensuring freedom. The different kinds of freedom are freedom to follow their religion, speak their language, celebrate their festivals, and express their view freely. The Constitution is a legal framework of rules and regulations by which a nation would function. Equality is where untouchability is seen as a crime. In India, as per the Article 17 of the Indian Constitution, untouchability is totally abolished and its any form of forbidden. Even today, different types of discrimination are reported across the country. Women, Peasants, tribes, and people from lower social classes are still striving for equality in India. So you understood, children? Understood you? Okay, now just a small recapture what you understood in this lesson. Prejudice means to judge other people in a negative or inferior manner without knowing much about them. Stereotype is a false view or idea about something. Discrimination can be defined as negative actions towards people. Discrimination can happen on the basis of color, class, religion, and gender. Caste system is the most dominant reason for inequality and discrimination. Gender discrimination refers to health, education, economic, and political inequality between men and women. Religious discrimination is unequal treatment of an individual or group based on their beliefs. Understood the children? Understood your children lesson? Okay, so everyone you read that lesson again, then only you can able to understand this one. Okay, so then what I said before that, you finish your class work and send it as soon as. So don't be delayed to send your class works. Okay, thank you children. Have a nice day.